Welcome back to Off the Dome. My name's Dominic. Gamertags. Now, if you've ever played a video game, odds are you have, then you've had to make a gamer tag before. A series of letters and numbers that represent who you are online. Now, people have different philosophies when it comes to making their gamer tag. Something like making it your own name, or making it something different between every single different platform. There's a lot of different ways to approach it, but a lot of people pick a name and stick with it. For example, I generally go as QuickDome or Dominic because that is very similar to my actual name. Now, here's the big problem though. A lot of people start playing video games when they're very young, which means that they create their gamer tag around that time, which means they're having it for so much longer than they should.
JV3x3, just random numbers and initials.
Morg.
Unknown force.
Chillin' dude 829.
For example, my first gamer tag was PackPantsify. Now I still remember when I created that because I was thinking, Pac-Man, pack, pants, packin' pants. And that was taken on YouTube. And so instead I took the first recommended suggestion, PackPantsify. I had that name for 8 years. Please don't look it up. The struggles of a gamer tag are difficult for regular players because changing your gamer tag after a long use feels like it's wiping away your legacy in all the games you played, even if it was just making bronze in League of Legends like some people. This is even more difficult for pro players because they have tons and tons of accolades to their name while also being recognizable on a sometimes national level. So wiping away that legacy can be difficult for some people. In esports, a lot of players are almost solely known for their name. There are so many players in so many different teams, in so many different scenes. So it's difficult to keep track on everyone. Knowing their name is much more reliable than knowing their face. More often than not, if you turn into an esports stream, you're not gonna see a big picture of someone's face on the screen. You're gonna see their name, their player, their characters, the way they play, right? Especially in team sports, things like League of Legends, CSGO, Valorant, you don't really see their face. Now, of course, if you look into bonus content or follow a scene closely, you're going to start to get to know all these players' teams and faces. When a pro starts off, they're not thinking about how they're going to be the best player in the world or how they're even going to be recognizable? How they're going to be recognizable on a global scale. Now, online video games have been around for about 10 to 15 years, right? And so we've gone through several eras of how people have done their name. When it first started around, you have names like Sephiroth Ken, people just acknowledging their favorite things, but have really no coherence with it. Then you go into, I'll call the MLG era, where an entire era of kids got onto online gaming through like Xbox Live and COD. Everyone has X's in their names, and everyone has I's, and everyone has numbers at the end, and uppercase and lowercase. It was literally like the Badlands over there. But coming out the other end of that, we started getting the rise of PC gamers, and it sort of homogenized the naming scheme. Keeping it short, keeping it clean, that's how it should be. It's very easy to read for players, for commentators, for spectators. It's great. But esports gamer tags are definitely something to pay attention to. At worst, they can make a player difficult to follow, difficult to understand who they are, what they're doing. Something like Relyks. How do I say his name? The guy's name is Skylar. Relyks plays Omen on Cloud9. And I've watched a lot of Cloud9, and I don't know how to say his name. He's off it now. Nice. But at best, when you say a player's name, it creates this visual image and personifies them in the context of the game. For example, Faker, unequivocally known as one of the best League of Legends players of all time. His name sounds like it's an insult to the person playing against him. And every time Faker kills someone, it sounds like he's reminding them that they're the Faker. Like he's the real mid laner, they're the Faker.
Faker may be in trouble here, Deathmark tries to clean it up for Ryu. Oh, look at the cleanse, look at the moves! Faker, what was that?
As well, Armada. The name Armada sounds like you're fighting a literal army of people. Now, Armada is widely considered as one of the greatest Super Smash Bros. Melee players of all time, known for his incredibly consistent and methodical playstyle, which literally reinforces this idea that it feels like you are fighting an army of people.
It's so intense. I mean, oh, nice!
Oh, wow!
Okay, that was...
Oh my God!
I can't believe he got that! I can't believe he got that!
Sniper strikes again! It was the best punish I've seen like all weekend.
Now, what I'm about to say doesn't extend to every pro player in every game, but in general, gamers don't have the most threatening presence. When I say a name like the athlete Shaquille O'Neal, Conor McGregor, you not only imagine their dominance in the game, but you imagine their literal threatening presence when they walk on the court or onto the literal battlefield to wrestle another man. Not only does their name give them a threatening presence, but their physical form does as well. Now take in Zachary, one of the greatest Super Smash Bros. Ultimate players of all time. Going into his first tournament, he flew down from Japan and wrecked everyone.
He's
say he won? He has never lost a tournament?
Never.
He lost one game here. I don't even know. I didn't get to watch him. Maybe he SD'd in there. Who knows?
His feet barely even touch the ground.
Yeah, man. Can we move his chair down, or does he want to be at that? That's probably optimal height somehow. I don't know.
I feel like
it's optimal height.
That Vertigear's on default, man.
This puts all the more emphasis on the name of a player because they don't have that physical, threatening presence to back up just their dominance in the game. You can't look at someone and say that they're an esports player, but you can look at someone and say they're probably an athlete. So you have to include that in your name somehow. Now, say you're a player with an old name, like a really old name, and you want to change it somehow. Here's my off-the-dome official guide to making a name that's not cringe. 1. Keep it simple. A name should be simple and easy for others to understand. When you start adding numbers and letters in the middle, it just becomes congested. You should be able to glance at someone's name and understand who they are and what their name is, like Mango, Hungrybox, and not Morse code 762. Maybe just because of my very poor reading comprehension. I'm not gonna lie, half the problem with me not being able to speak directly, speak very well properly to you, to truly speak off the dome, because I'm reading a script right here, and I'm terrible at reading comprehension. Number 2, there should be only one way to skin a cat. Some tags have different ways of saying them, and they do not translate well. Take, for example, FNS in Valorant. Is it FNS? Is it finesse? I don't know, and I've watched him play so many times. Number 3, don't just flip your name around. Don't just take your name and flip it backwards. Because that's what Skylar did. Reckless. I don't know how to say his name. Call yourself Skylar, dude! Number 4, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Don't be afraid to include parts of your own name in your tag. To be honest, those are usually the best names when it's some sort of play on words. Not only does it sound cool, but when someone really thinks about it and they're like, oh. Number 5, be original. The biggest thing about making a name is don't just take it from somewhere else. A lot of players will name themselves after other video game characters. You have players like Shanks and Asuna who are just named themselves after anime characters. You're down bad. It's quarantine, I understand, I'm down bad as well. Now with that in mind, I'm gonna list my top 5 favorite NA Valorant, top 5 gamer tags in NA Valorant. Number 5, Automatic. This is number 5 because Automatic is a popular CSGO player. He's one of the only people from North America to ever win a major. Let's analyze his name real quick, right? Automatic. His name is Timothy Ta. Automatic. No matter how you say it, it literally slots perfectly into his name. I think it's a great name. Number 4, Mada. Now, Mada not only is a great name, I think of Mada, but someone pointed this out, that Mada backwards is Adam. Now this one's not a bad one because flipping it backwards is a real word. It follows proper punctuation. Makes sense. Reckless, got a better name, dude. Number 3, Shazam. Now Shazam on Sentinels, very good player, one of the best players in North America, probably the best IGL. But his real name is Shazee. Not only is his name a play off his own name, but it just has this sort of gusto with it, like Shazam. Number 2, Thwifo. Just say it real quick. Thwifo. It just sounds sick. Maybe it's because of the way you say it, right? Thwifo. It feels like your mouth is going through the hero's journey on its own. It has such a perfect build-up and payoff. Saying it not only is just fun, but it has the same, like, gusto when you say it in a commentary battle. Now, those are all good names, but what is the best name in North American Valor? Number 1, Doinkmachine 97. I feel like it has the perfect build-up and payoff with the sh being like, the rising action, and then the zam being the literal punch in the face, like how he punches